you have no problem getting your work, but I have been there before where I've actually, and normally I would bring the project to the client, and he'd like, they get all, you know, wacky and weird about, you know, it looks wonderful, you know. And I've been there before, like, is it done? This is done now. And I've always figured, well, there's 3 more days work here before the deadline, much less my asking for 3 more days after that just so I could make it better, because I'm adamant, you know, that akin to a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. The best project you do, you'll be remembered for. The very best thing you've ever done, you'll be remembered for. The other thing, you'll be remembered for your worst. Oh, you did. Oh, that sucked. You know. Voltaire did. You know, he's a good guy, but man, he did this one project. He just, I had to throw it away. I couldn't use it. You know, am I going to use it again? You know, you'll be remembered for your worst project, and that's something that today is the best. You know, remember this is the first day of the rest of your life. I am going to do something. You know, even if they don't think it's the best piece of work they've ever seen, I want me to know that it's the best piece of work I've ever done. I have been there before where the client has given me specific outlines of this is the kind of work we're looking for. It has to be done in this style, and you have to match it. That happens a lot in animation, by the way. You know, if you're going to do Bugs Bunny, it has to look like Bugs Bunny, not some strange interpretation of bugs. It has to look like bugs. That's a challenge. All of a sudden, you've got to then figure out how the hell do I draw bugs. You know, and they'll get help along the way when that comes. But you have to, you know, you have to meet the standards that have been there before. A couple of you have been in my classes before, and I have said this. I have a project or 2 I've done in the past that paid me ridiculous sums of money. I've matched styles for them, and I would be too embarrassed to show them to you because they were horrible. Yet, they were perfect for the client. They gushed over it, they loved it, it was great. I just cashed the check and ran. You know, I would be too ashamed to ever show you the projects. One of them was for Coca-Cola, which is, you know, one of the better places in the world to ever do any work for, because their expectations are very high. And yet, they gave me this project that paid wonderful, great sums of money, and I would, you know, as I said, I did find it in my portfolio a while back, and oh my gosh, it's still around. I threw it away. You know, I didn't even want to look at it again. And that will take us and actually give us something besides deadlines to talk about here in terms of the projects themselves and the grading process. Actually, I can go print one out before long. I can print you a grade sheet out that I'm going to use for this class or something like it. And there's a lot of topics, a lot of specifics, which that we can get into later. But still, you are in control of the work. You have to do the best you can on everything you do. Project 1, you know, and eventually they have to be quantified. A, B, C, D, okay? And I have seen great work. I have great work. And the way I grade things tend to be is not, I'm not going to look at this one's the best in the class so it gets an A. I'm grading it as the best work I've ever seen in my life. Okay? Because I want you to strive for that better. You know, I've been there before where someone has done great work for me, and they've looked at me and said, Kevin, now what can I do? What can I do to make it better? You know? And hopefully I have an answer. Sometimes I go, you know, it's fabulous, it's wonderful. Just do more of it the same, you know, that kind of thing. Very seldom to be able to hear that. I can always usually find something to write about, as most of you know. But you know, I have gotten that good work before. I've gotten that walk on water great work before. And I'm hoping I can give you just enough guidance, and then you have enough wherewithal to go somewhere with it. So there's still A, B, C, D. A is walks on water, it's fabulous, it's great. He's going to do good work for me. B, you know, it's okay, but it could have been better. C means you're average. C is, you'll get paid for it. You'll actually do okay with it. You'll see a lot of C work in this video that I've got. D probably means you could have done a little more with it. D happens when you sometimes try to do it the day before, 15 minutes before, that kind of thing. Well, an F speaks for itself, folks. An F is, you know, you're probably wasting my time and someone else's money. know, I can't push it enough. I feel like it's 110% all about the portfolio. You know, this is the class that I'm hoping that you're gonna. I'm gonna ask you to do these in a smaller format, so you can have a little book at the end of the quarter that you can show and put, you know, them in order, and we'll have them. And someone needs storyboards done. Look what I can do. You know, and there'll be something you can show somebody. And you know, there are places within walking distance of this building that I've done. There's a big studio in this building up here on the corner building off of where this roundabout is, and I really don't remember the name of the studio. It's like on the 6th or 7th floor, and I've done some things for them. I did a big project for Innova Design, which is in I think that's Innova, like San Felipe in Richmond. I've done stuff in Telemundo. Didn't understand the language. Somebody could help me out. Didn't matter to me. I just needed pictures. You know, I've done stuff for another place that's right on San Felipe. No, San Felipe is going this way, and it's Post Oak goes towards the Galleria, and it's a studio. It's up above. There's all those stores along that road between here and San Felipe and Westheimer, and there's all those fancy stores there. And there's a studio up on like the 2nd level above some store that's really quite nice. That it's got me to do some things over the year. I mean, a lot of these places are within walking distance. Not Baxter and Cords. There's another place. Now they moved. I can't remember. Names elude me sometimes. I hate it when I talk to other designers and stuff and say, I work for this guy over at such and such. I work for that guy at such and such place. I'm not very good at that. Once I've gotten off the radar scope for a while, I don't remember who they are, and so that's really bad. Because if I go to some function and then somebody walks up to me and says, "Kevin, haven't seen you in so long." I know this person, but I don't remember where. And it says, "I'm such and such. I'm over at this place," and then, or call me more often. I remember you. Although I don't do a lot of commercial stuff anymore. So A, B, C, D stuff. You know, I actually wrote down a description of what's an A, what's a B, what's a C. You know, if you want to bore yourself, that'd be my guess. It's a challenge for me, and I've got mathematical equations that help me out with that. You know, all you can do is the best you can. Just, you know, plug away. You've got to start as soon as possible to know that, you know, the time, 2 weeks from today, it'll be over. And that's actually, as an artist, as it's doing stuff commercially, that's been one of the good things in my life. Because as a fine artist, I don't have deadlines anymore. Until I decide something is done, it is not done. As an illustrator, as a storyboard artist, and whatever it was I want to call myself doing, the nice thing I've got going for me was, once again, you've got this 2-day deadline, 3-day deadline, and you just knock yourself out, you do what you do, and it's done. And it's like so many times I've done projects go, okay, on Tuesday it's going to go away. On Tuesday night I'm sleeping, you know. I'm going to maybe sleep all day Wednesday. I don't care, you know. But I do whatever I can do with the time I have to do it in. And invariably, this is the way my life works. I have a 2-week deadline, it takes all of 2 weeks. If I have a 2-day deadline, it takes all of 2 days. And very often you don't see the difference in the work with me. I just will bust my ass one way or the other, you know. And where you'll run into trouble commercially down the way is, well, this project pays $200. I'm only going to do $200 worth of work for this. This pays $2,000. I'll do $2,000 of work for this. If you try to do the $200 project as a $200 project, they'll tell you, well, this isn't very good. You have to go back and fix it. Okay, and that's because you're back to your remember for your weakest link. If I don't do my best on everything, then it just gives me grief. You know, or worse of it is, you of course go into their office knowing it's really pretty bad. And I've even done that before. Back to what I said a minute ago, where I've had a project and, you know, I've got 3 more days to do on it, and I want them to see it because I'd like to get a little more time just so I can make it that much better for me. And they'll go, it looks fine as is. You know? And I've actually done that before. Well, okay, take it.